Great, thank you.
There we go.
So anyway, so do you just want us just to start on our little happiness? Yeah, Tiari's like, yes. Okay, so yeah, so like I said, I Facebook stalked her and I just wanted to find out what she was doing. And so, you know, with my story, and John will talk a little bit about him and how he's been feeling, but so I got diabetes, I don't even know how many years ago it was, and I knew I was in serious trouble because I was the type of person that was like, I am in complete denial that I have this disease at all, and I kind of figured if I don't pretend like it exists, then it won't exist, right? And that doesn't happen that way. So so yeah, so I mean, I remember talking to my mom on my bed, and I was like holding the phone on the bed, and I totally fell asleep. And she's like, Teresa, you fell asleep. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, you know. And I'd wake up and I'd start talking to her again, and I'd fall asleep again. I mean, it was that bad. My A1C was that bad that I was falling asleep during conversations with people. And I never got to the point where I do that with driving or anything, but I just knew I was in trouble. And so every time I'd go to the doctor, not too long before we moved up here, we moved up to Heber about 2 months ago. And not too long before I moved up here, I had my doctor tell me, Teresa, I like you, but you're going to die. And I'm like, I'm going to die. He's like, I buried a patient that was 53 years old not too long ago, and she had a heart attack because her heart just couldn't handle the diabetes, and her A1C would never go down. And he goes, you're nice, and I don't want to have to see you being buried. And I'm like, that scared the bejeebers out of me. And so I thought, okay, I'm gotta do something. And so when I was watching Angie with this whole transformation, I'm like, okay, I want a piece of that. And so I just decided just to try, and I told my husband, should we just try this? And he's like, yeah, let's just try it. What is it going to hurt if we just try 1 month? And so we jumped in with 1 month and started doing the fuelings. And what I love about the fuelings is that you have to eat like every 2 to 3 hours, and it's protein and carbohydrate balanced, and it even has probiotics in it to help your body and all these, everything you need. And but what also helps with eating every 2 to 3 hours is that your blood sugars stay great. And I couldn't believe the first just even couple of days I wasn't tired anymore. I used to take my kid to school, drop him off, and come back in the house and lay on the couch and fall back asleep. And my husband would call at noon. He's like, what have you done for the day? And I'm like, so much. But it wasn't true. I was sleeping. I was in a diabetic coma. And like even the first couple of days on this program, I wasn't doing that anymore. I had extra energy and I couldn't believe it. And so then we move up here, and I'm trying to get reestablished with doctors, and I go to my doctor and I'm like, okay, I need you to check my A1C. And I told her last time I checked it, it was 10.1, which if you know about A1Cs, that is horrific. And she said it was 5.7, and she just looked at me and she goes, what are you doing? And I just said, I'm doing Optavia and I feel great, and it is making me feel fantastic. And she said, whatever you're doing, don't stop, because your numbers don't lie. And, you know, I said, well, is it safe? And she's like, look at your numbers. It's absolutely safe, and keep going. Don't stop. And so I'm so excited for like maybe January when I go back, and hopefully I'm 20 more pounds down from where I'm at. And maybe by then she can say, just stop taking your pills and stop taking injections and stop doing all of it, because you're good to go. So that's the hope and the plan, that we can get to that point. But yeah, she was so thrilled for us. She's just like, whatever you are doing, do not stop what you're doing. And not only that for me, but the energy is just through the roof. And like today, I came home and I mean, I didn't get great sleep last night. And even with that, I have gone to the grocery store. I cleaned out my fridge. I cleaned out the garage and unpacked all the rest of the stuff in the garage. And John came home and he's like, well, the garage is unpacked. And I'm like, yep. And then made dinner and I still have energy to go. So I wouldn't have done that a couple of months ago. So I love how it makes me feel. It feels like a fog has been lifted off my brain, if that makes any sense at all. I'm thinking clearer. I don't get so upset about things. Like I'm just balanced, if that makes any sense at all. So I don't know. How are you feeling on this whole thing?
I'm feeling pretty good. You know, my story goes back to, I've tried different meal plans over the years, tried meal plans, and I've tried hard exercise. And uh, the thing with me is I get hypoglycemic. And so I can't go long periods of time without having something to eat. And that can kind of snowball with your weight and stuff. And so it's been a challenge for several years for me to get the right balance. So when Teresa, who's also my awesome coach, told me about, wow, like 5 fuelings, and I asked her, what's a fueling? She goes, it's like a snack. And so I could have 5 of those in one day plus like a meal. I was all over that. That was exciting because that meant to me that I could, not only could I lose weight, but I could do the exercise part of things as well and not having to worry about gutting it out till the next meal. You know, I'll have a feeling, I know in the next couple hours I can have another one. And the first couple of days that I tried it, I just kind of amazed how I didn't get that bottomed out feeling that I usually do when I'm trying to do meal plans. Prior to doing this, though, I like to do a little hiking, take my dog up into the hills and stuff. And there's a certain trail that I always enjoyed doing over the years. And it's been about 4 or 5 years since I've actually done that trail. So I took my dog up there and my daughter and stuff. And I remember coming back and I was just exhausted. You know, it's like, and I was thinking, I always used to have the ability to do that trail, even when I was a little bit heavier than I was at the time. And I was telling Teresa, man, maybe I'm just getting a little too old for that and stuff. And so I really worked hard with this meal plan and sticking to it. And it's helped me a lot lose the weight. So I've lost like 24 pounds. And I've done a similar trail a couple of times. And I've come back and I told Teresa, this is pretty incredible because I remember being at this weight before and being able to do these hikes, and now I'm able to do that again. It just feels so good. Like that part of my life's not over. It's not taken away from me. I just had to make some life choices to get back to where I wanted to again.
Yeah, for sure. And like just an example, like we went to Park City the other day just to shop and bum around up in Park City. And I mean, if anyone has shopped like historic Main Street, it's a mountain. And I remember a couple of years ago, bless John's heart, I said, I want to go up to Timpanogos and I want to like hike Timpanogos. And he just looked at me. And I mean, I was 70 pounds heavier even then. So I've lost quite a bit of weight since then, but he looked at me and he's like, oh, sweetheart, you're not going to make it. And I'm like, that's so rude. But he was totally right. I wasn't going to make it. And Zachary had just gone on a young men activity up there and he goes, Mom, it's brutal. It's hard. It's a hard hike. And I'm like, okay. And, you know, we went to Park City and it's a hill, and we went and we had lunch and then we started hiking up this hill. And I took notice. I'm like, we haven't stopped in any shops and we're just continually walking up this mountain, and I'm not gasping for air. I'm not dripping with sweat. I'm not dying. And I was astounded that you know what I mean? I couldn't have done that a couple months ago. So, like the energy is just crazy and it just feels great. So, I love that part of it. I love that part. And so John has lost like 24. I've lost 25. Jacob my son, and some of you that are on know him, he's lost 34 up to date. He doesn't weigh himself very often. I weigh daily. John and Jake weigh like once a week. And they're really devoted to that, and I'm not. But Jacob is just shrinking. And what I love about this program is this is so effortless that you can just do it and follow it. He never cheats, that kid. And just little things that I love about watching my son do it is, like the other day, he's 21, he's going to go buy what he wants, and he's going to go do what he wants, and he doesn't cheat at this diet. And then the other day he bought Triscuits and he brought them home, and I'm like, hey, be careful, you don't eat too many, I'm like, hey, what you eating? But then I looked at the box and I'm like, he bought the reduced fat, and it wasn't by my promptings, it was by his choice. And that's what I love about this is I can see that he is feeling so good and so healthy, and so much of a difference that he's consciously making health choices at the grocery store when he's buying stuff. He's not at the bakery buying a donut. Oh, I want Triscuits. Well, I'm going to buy reduced fat then, and I'm going to make a healthier choice with just my cracker choice. And I love that because, you can follow this, and then you can go into maintenance, and you can go into other things, but it's a lifestyle plan. And I love that it's changing his thinking and changing how he looks at the world. And I'm telling you, if my son can do it, as a 21-year-old that loves food, I call him my gentle giant, anyone can do this program. So, he's been super successful, and I'm super proud of him. And even the whole family, watching us cook lean and green meals. My children are like tonight we had stroganoff, and I cooked it lean and green. I tried 2 more. I added more mushrooms. I added more tomatoes to it. I added fat-free yogurt instead of cream cheese. And Zachary's like, really? You took my best meal and you changed it on me? And I'm like, yeah, I did, but let's see if you even notice. And he took some bites and he's like, it's great, love it. And I'm just like, good, because it's a lot less, not as fattening as it used to be. So I used to dump in all the cream cheese, all the everything, and now I'm trying to change that for my family and future generations, hopefully, just by their health choices and what they're doing to change their individual lives. So I don't know if Angie, if you want to talk about your story and what you did.
Let me say one more thing before we go to Angie. This meal plan it's been different for me because it's really helped with my sugar cravings. I've had a long relationship with sugar, and it's helped out a lot. And I'm feeling a lot more energy and not those highs that the sugars give you, and then you like bottom out. So I've enjoyed that about the meal plans as well, especially the protein drinks.
Yeah, it's all good. So I don't know, Angie, do you want to share your story and kind of what's been going on with you?
Yeah, that would be fine. I'm with you, John. Like, your sugar cravings go way down when you start not eating it as much. It is really amazing how much your cravings go down. It's awesome. So I started the program back on June 1st of last year. I had seen somebody on Facebook, and they had lost a bunch of weight and kept it off for like 3 years. So I was like, that's what I want a part of, because I want to be able to keep it off. I want it to be a lifestyle change if I'm going to do it. And so I started the program June 1st, and I had lost 60 pounds by December. And then I hadn't been that weight for, I don't even know how long. And that was my first goal weight. And so I maintained there for about 6 months. And then through the Habits of Health system, reading the books, I decided that I wanted to go down a little bit more so I could be at a healthy BMI. And so I hit it again and lost another 15 pounds. So I've lost, it's about 77 pounds so far. and I feel amazing. My knees and my back were hurting before, and I was like, I guess I'm just getting old. I'm just starting to show my age. And then it's amazing what after 77 pounds is gone, what you can do. My knees don't hurt anymore. My back doesn't hurt anymore. Like you, I have so much energy. It's amazing. And even my kids say how much happier I am and how that I'm a nicer mom. My anxiety has like completely like almost gone away. And I don't know if that's partly due to eating healthier or just feeling more confident. I'm not sure, but I just feel amazing. I haven't been this weight since like I'm wearing some size 8 pants and they're even a little bit too big. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even think I've ever worn a size 6 except for maybe in elementary school or something like that. So it's really awesome. But
That is awesome. I love
program.
that. Yeah, and another thing too is with being a diabetic, I've also had a stroke before due to a chiropractic adjustment. I had my artery dissected, and it caused additional health problems to me, like restless legs and stuff like that. And just being on this program, I mean, my neuropathy in my feet it's almost disappeared. I mean, my feet get cold up here, but my doctor said just keep going. It'll repair itself. You haven't been a diabetic for too long, that just keep going. And my restless leg has gotten better. I didn't sleep when we lived in Sandy. I was up until 3 o'clock in the morning doing heaven knows what, crafts or whatever, watching Housewives on on cable. I mean, who knows what I was doing because I couldn't sleep. And it's just amazing. It's like 10 o'clock at night and I'm like, I'm going to bed, and I go to bed and I sleep through the night. And I never used to be able to do that. And I can't tell you how comforting even that is that, just sleep and pain wise and all of it has just improved. And I think with that, just our overall happiness has improved. It's just crazy. I mean, I feel closer to my husband. I don't know. Everything has changed. And the other day, John, he looked at me and he's just like, I love this program and I don't care what we have to do, but we are going to stay on this program and we're not ever getting off. And I'm like, okay. But I just kind of wish, my hope and my dream is that a lot of people follow us and want to jump on the health train with us because of how happy we are. And you just want to share that happiness with people. It's like, oh my gosh, Angie has shared this biggest secret in the world with me, and I need other people to know this part of my life and how happy I am with this part of my life. And you just want to share it. You're just like, this is too good of a secret to keep to yourself. And if everyone could feel this healthy and this happy, I just want to share it. Tiare, do you want to share your story with people?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Holy cow, like both you, Teresa, and John and Angie, you guys are amazing. And I've heard you guys tell a little bit of your story before, but it just, I don't know, it just makes my heart sing. Like it makes me so happy to hear this because truthfully, when I started on my health journey, it was over 7 years ago, and I was pregnant with my third baby. And now I have 5 kids. So I've had 2 more kids since I had my third baby, and then I had 2 more. So I've had 3 babies since I've been doing this program. That's 7 years ago. And I had no idea the impact that I would have, and that I would make good friends with people like you, Teresa, and John, and Angie and I have been friends for a while, but it's just so amazing to see what happens when you change your habits. You talked about how like you changed your habits, so your kids are changing their habits, and I've seen that with my own family as well. So it's awesome. A little bit about my story. It's evolved over the years. I mean, it was like I just wanted to help people and to have better habits for myself while I was pregnant. And then Then I had babies, and I had to kick it into, losing weight and losing baby weight and get my energy back, because you don't get you don't have energy when you have newborns. You just don't.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this program really helped me kind of reset my habits and navigate some really good, healthy pregnancies, and then good recoveries afterwards. I was able to feel really good and get back to healthy weights after that. I think the thing that made the biggest impact on me was over a year ago, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. And that was pretty devastating to me, because I was unsure what kind of mobility I would have. Exercise has always been a love of mine. And I've taught fitness classes and things like that. And there was a prospect of not being able to do any of that because of the inflammation, severe inflammation through all of my joints. The arthritis had been eating away at the bones in my feet, so I couldn't run. And my doctor advised me to just take it easy and not do any of my classes. And it tore me up. I'll be honest. It was really hard. It shook me to my core. And I wallowed in self-pity for about a week. And I felt like, this is it. I can't do anything about it. But then I remembered something that my doctor told me when I was in my appointment. He looked at the x-rays of my feet. He looked at the x-rays of my neck and my shoulders and my wrists and my fingers and my hands. And he said, I don't know why you aren't in more pain. He said, I don't know why you haven't come in sooner. You've had rheumatoid arthritis for a very long time, and you haven't come in sooner. And he said, I'm not sure what you're doing or how you got to this point or why you've been toughing it out. And I said, I haven't been in a lot of pain until this last year. And it really became very apparent to me that the reason why I was able to stay off a lot of my symptoms and a lot of the really negative effects of my rheumatoid arthritis was because I had these healthy habits. And because I had been practicing eating so that I don't have inflammation, and practicing how to balance my blood sugars, and practicing all of those things, and healthy mobility, all of those things actually helped deter those symptoms for a lot longer than it should have been. And as a mom to 5 young kids, it was really important for me to be able to be mobile and active for them and be a part of their lives and not be so tired and not be so much in pain. And now that I've been able to dial back into my habits, and since then, have I've just been able to reduce inflammation at a massive rate. And I actually went to my rheumatoid arthritis rheumatologist. I went to see him just last month, I think. It was the beginning of last month. And he told me, he ran all of the labs. He said, oh, well, you haven't been taking, I confessed I hadn't been taking the medicine that he had been giving me. It's a stubborn part of me. I'm so sorry, but that's just the way it is. And I hadn't been taking it very frequently. And of course, slap on the wrist. You really need to be taking your stuff. And I said, okay, I'll comply. And he said, well, I'm going to run your labs just to make sure. And he ran my labs, and they came back, and they were all perfect. Every one of my labs were perfect. And he said, well, whatever you're doing, you need to keep doing that, but you also need to get back on your meds because that's the regimen that we have for right now. And I agreed, right? But I felt like this has been such a gift, and I'm so glad that I learned these tools of being able to eat every 2 to 3 hours, hydrating my body, sleeping properly, moving my body properly. And I think the biggest thing that I've learned is having a mindset that is bulletproof. Because there are things that have come and gone, and especially when I had found out this diagnosis, like it was my mindset that was able to reset. My mindset said, you know what, you know how to do this, and I did, and I'm still doing it, and it's going to be a lifelong process. But I have every confidence that I can be in control of this. I have every confidence that I have the tools to be able to feel good all of the time. And I'm not perfect. Please know Perfection doesn't exist, especially from health coaches. Just because we help other people doesn't mean that we're perfect. But what it does do is it helps me solidify my my desire and my commitment to my own health. And so I slip less often. I make better choices more often, and I get back on track when I need it. So there are just so many facets of this program that I had no idea would bleed into the rest of my life or help me in different ways as the years have gone on, and they have. And so I think that's the gift that I have found, is that just being able to see my health evolve, my life evolve, and this program has really become my lifestyle, and it has fit with every stage and everything that's come my way. I'm able to kind of navigate those things in a more healthy way, in a more mindful way. It's really empowering to know that I'm creating health. Like, it's really empowering to know that I have control. You know, I have an autoimmune disease. Rheumatoid arthritis is autoimmune, and it's really crummy to think about that I have no control over it, but I can do what I can do. And that's the gift that we have, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, that is, I mean, it is. It's like what you said, like listening to your story, listening to Angie's story. I love going to the meetings and the community that Optavia has, because it is just so, I mean, after every meeting, I just want to walk out and go, and amen, because it's like, it resonates with my whole soul. You know, it's just like, it's just amazing how your lives have changed, and how rheumatoid arthritis, who would have thought that it would improve, you know, because of what you do and how you take care of your body. And it's just amazing, you know, how anxiety goes away because of it. And it's just, it's mind-blowing. And I just love listening to people's stories and what their lives have changed and what has helped them improve on all this. So yeah, it's just an amazing journey, and I'm so happy for it. And you know, like Tiari and Angie has said, that we are health coaches, but we're not perfect, and we're on this journey together. And we slip and fall, and then we improve, and then we learn, and then we do better, and then we just keep going. And that's what I love about it, is that we're helping each other, and we're helping each other grow into better people and healthier people, with our mindset, with everything, with our minds and our bodies, and even finances. It's just, I mean, it's just like I said, the fog has been cleared out of my brain, and has really helped me see life a lot clearer. And you know, John and I together, we can help people. If you're interested in a health assessment, I would be happy to go over that with you. And I can even have Angie and Tiari come in on the calls with us, and we can do them all together. And because everybody's health journey is so different, and so what's the word? I mean, it's so individualized, you know, that it just, everybody needs a little bit something different. And that's what I've loved to see. Like John's, we're on all on the same program, but Jacob's doing a little bit tweaking a little bit differently, and so is John, and so am I, but we're all doing the same thing. And I don't even know if that makes sense.
Mine's also gluten-free.
Oh yeah, John can't do gluten. So, and that got so challenging before we were on this, because at one point he was doing keto, which really wasn't helping him, and he was struggling with that, and gluten-free, and trying to lose weight. And I'm just like, you know, at night he would be like, what are you gonna make for dinner? And I'm like, what can I make for dinner? Let's put it that way. And it was so exhausting. And what I love is, like, if somebody wants to do this program but they work full time or something, it's such a great grab and go program that you can stay on your fuelings, and you can do all that with still doing your meals every 2 to 3 hours, and giving your body what it needs, and you're not spiking with your blood sugar. And So I have a confession to make. I just got a job, a full-time job at Lee's Marketplace at Pierre and Heber, and it's in the bakery. And I told Madison, you know what? I am not even worried about working in the bakery, being around donuts and bread, because of the fact that we eat every 2 to 3 hours. It takes away those cravings. I'm sure it'll smell great, but I'm sure I can avoid it, because it's amazing. When I first started this, the feelings aren't huge. And I think, oh my gosh, especially my son, my 21-year-old, he's going to starve to death. He's going to be so mad at me for doing this. But it just gives your body what it needs, and you're always at an even kill. And I don't know about John. I am never hungry. I mean, I set my alarm clock on my phone, and it goes off at 8, 10:30, 1, 3:30, 6, 8:30. And every time it goes off, I'm like, again, I've got to eat again. But I love that, because it's like, I wouldn't have thought to eat again because I'm not hungry. And I'm just never starving like I thought I would be. And so I love that, and that it just keeps my body and my metabolism going, so that then I can kick into fat burn. And I love that, and my biggest problem, I think, before this, when I was trying to do Weight Watchers and other programs, is I was classic of John would call like during the day, and I would be like, it's 2:30 and I haven't eaten at all. And then I would go, oh yeah, I should be famished, right? So I'd go to the fridge and I would just eat really crappy stuff. So and then I've blown it for the day. Plus my body's into starvation mode, and it's like, when are you going to feed me again? And it was just horrible. And so I think that's why my diabetes was so bad. I think that's why I felt so crappy all the time. I think that's why I was in comas all the time. And I didn't feel good. I didn't feel that spark of life that I do now. And now it's like, I put on Facebook the other day, don't tell me the sky's the limit, because there's footprints on the moon. And that is totally how my soul feels. It just feels like, oh, just bring it, because anything is possible. And I can become as teeny as Angie and Tiari, and but teeny's great, but I want to feel this great all the time too. I want to have improved health. I want diabetes in my back door. I wish my dad could have had this a couple of years ago. Maybe he would still be with us. So, with all that said, if you're interested in a health assessment, I would be so happy to sit down with you and help you and find a plan that's great for you, and come on the journey with us. And we were talking about with this webinar, it's like, well, what if the next year you started it at the holidays, at Thanksgiving time? What if you did, and you gave it 30 days, just 30 days? There's no contracts to sign. There's no you're in a commitment for the next 6 months. None of that. It's try it 30 days. And I guarantee you, after 30 days, you'll feel so fantastic that you won't want to get off the plan. And that's why everyone's on the plan, because it's a great ride to be on, So, just 30 days and we were hooked, line, and sinker, huh? Yeah, you just feel that good. So, with that said, I don't know what else to say, but it's a great program. I'm really grateful that people took time out of their day to listen to this. And I know other people wanted to listen to this later. And thank you, Angie, for recording it for me. But do you guys want to say one more thing or anything? No.
I think that's good. Like, it's gonna kick us in 1 minute, but
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, good job. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for jumping on and being with us tonight. Hope you loved it. Hope you loved our story.
It was great. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Okay,
We'll see you later. Okay. Bye.
Bye.